In this video, I'll discuss and show you how to calculate the change in revenue and spending as a result of a tariff. As you can see, domestic producers earn revenue before the tariff equal to the pink box. And foreign producers earn revenue equal to the light green box. Now it's just a matter of calculating the area of those boxes. To calculate the domestic pre-tariff revenue, all we need to do is take price world 250 times the amount of steel that's produced by American firms, which in this case is 20 million. Don't forget the units. For foreign producers, we must take the price at world, which is $250 per metric ton, times the amount that foreign producers are able to supply into the U.S. economy. In this case, it's Q2 minus Q1, or 80 million tons. Try to do the calculations. Hit the pause button while you do that, and we'll come back with the answers. Okay, I'll show you the answer now, and hopefully this is also the answer that you got. Let's take a look at the post-tariff revenue. For domestic producers, they're able to take advantage of the higher price created by the tariff and the increase in the supply curve and the price world. To be able to calculate their new revenue, we take P world plus tariff times Q3. For foreign producers, they do not get to take advantage of the higher price created by the tariff. Remember, they've got to pay the distance between the two supply curves to the government. Therefore, they only still receive P world or price world. And remember that domestic consumers demand a lower quantity as a result of the increase in price. Therefore, to calculate foreign producer revenue after the tariff, we need to take P world times Q4 minus Q3. Finally, to calculate the post-tariff revenue for the government, we take the distance between the two supply curves, or P world plus tariff minus P world, or the tariff per unit, and we multiply it by Q4 minus Q3, which is the amount that the foreign producers supply into the market. Remember that the government does not tax domestic producers, as a tariff is a tax on imported goods and services. Take some time to do your calculations now. Pause the video, and then replay it to see if you got the answers correct. Here are the answers, and I hope you got them correct. You also may be asked to find the change in revenue for all of these groups. In order to do this, simply take the post-tariff revenue minus the pre-tariff revenue, and you'll get your answer. Make sure to indicate whether the revenue has increased by using a positive sign or decreased using a negative sign. Take some time to do your calculations now. Pause the video, and then replay it to see if you got the answers correct. Here are the answers, and I hope you got them correct. Finally, you might be asked to calculate the change in consumer spending. Before the tariff, you can see here that consumer spending was equal to the price world times Q2. To calculate this, simply take the price world times Q2. After the tariff, however, consumers must pay a higher price, P world plus tariff, and they're going to demand less than they did pre-tariff. Therefore, to find out how much consumers spent after the tariff, simply take price world plus tariff times Q4. Now notice that consumers are responsible for paying a higher price for goods and services due to the tariff. So if you ever hear any government official saying, we're going to put a tariff on some other country's goods and make them pay for it, that's not entirely true. They will be paying some of the tariff, but they likely will pass a lot of those extra costs on to the consumer, on to you. This is one of the reasons that it's so important to understand and learn about economics, so that when politicians tell you something that's absolutely not true, you can know and understand that it's absolutely not true. And to calculate the change in consumer spending, simply take the post-tariff spending minus the pre-tariff spending and make sure to indicate whether the spending went up with a positive sign or down with a negative sign. Take some time to do your calculations now, pause the video, and then replay it to see if you got the answers correct. Here are the answers, and I hope you got them correct. A last thing that you might be asked to do is to calculate the area of welfare loss. In order to do this in this situation, you must be able to calculate the area of a triangle. Notice that the area of a triangle is calculated by looking at 1/2 base times height. In this case, we must calculate the area of 2 triangles. In order to calculate the area of the triangle on the right side of the diagram, we must take 1/2 of the value of Q2 minus Q4, which is the base, and then multiply by the height, which is the tariff. Or another way to calculate it would be P world plus tariff minus P world. To calculate the welfare loss on the left side of the diagram, the welfare loss associated with the increase in price, we must take 1/2 of the value of Q3 minus Q1, which is the base, times the height, which is the tariff, or P world plus tariff minus P world. Do those calculations, pause, and check back to see if you got it correct. Here are the answers, and I hope that you got them correct. Thanks again for watching, and thanks for helping make economics great again.